Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Shruti, and I'm so excited to have Samuel Vargas in the studio today. He is a violinist, teacher, and entrepreneur, and has traveled across the globe visiting 62 countries with his performance and teaching. He is the founder of the Samuel Vargas International Music Foundation, and we're so excited to have him in studio. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, let's get into it. So I gave you a little tiny introduction, but you are doing so much more. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
Well, so I'm currently in the city of Columbus in the state of Georgia in the US. I'm finishing my master's in violin performance, and I'm also getting my international certificate in musicology. I am the founder and president of the Vargas Foundation, and I do a lot of work in the communities and traveling. And of course, the foundation itself has this amazing impact across 24 countries where we support students through music education and private lessons, which are provided for them for free. And on top of that, we are able to support students by sending boxes of donations of accessories like strings, rosins, shoulders, music that is collected across the US through our ambassadors program. And it's very amazing to see how this changed the life of a child from playing with a bicycle wire to a real string.
Oh my
So yeah,
gosh.
real, yeah. So it's really amazing. And on top of that, I have my solo career. So I travel around the US and different countries performing violin concertos. And more recently, I am working with Arvid Anderson, who is a philanthropist who is sponsoring new violin concerti. So I am premiering the commission works from Latin American composers and American composers in the recovery of this amazing melody friendly music, and of course incorporating all of these Latin rhythms and things from our culture. So that's super amazing.
Wow, that is just so fantastic. And I love that you're taking this philanthropist and sort of using it to bring life back into these Latin melodies and everything that's sort of easy for the rest of classical music to understand and love too. I know you have a unique career both as a touring musician and as a teacher and being an entrepreneur. How do you balance all of it? And a student. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I think that since I teach, I have my own private students. I also have my program, which is the SBS Scholars through the foundation, where we teach violin students, violin literature, violin pedagogy, artistic entrepreneurship. So all of those classes I teach for them, and they have their lessons and studio classes, plus me traveling and doing homework and projects for school. I think that I the key to balance all of these things is being able to see the commonalities between everything I do and how it's intertwined. So none of the things that I do are separate from each other. It's also nurturing my solo career, my understanding of music, what I am able to share with others, and what I am able to teach. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that by understanding this, I just set priorities. So I'm not really methodical in the things that I do, but I am very creative. I'm a visionary by nature. So I'm very good at saying, okay, all of these things are within the same frame. So I
Yes.
will go ahead and do all of that. Then I have
Mm.
recitals. So I have 5 business days a week. So I am able to put all of that in different sections so that I'm able to fulfill all of these things. And I want to also share that I am not doing all of these things on my own or by myself. 100% of the work of the foundation is supported and done by a lot of people. So even though it holds my name, it's something greater than me, and it's
Mm-hmm.
supported by
Mm-hmm.
so many others because we
Mm-hmm.
do this for them, for the children, for the students. And when it comes to my career, I also have people supporting me, people who takes care of me. So I think that it's very important to know that the key to being able to balance a life like the one I have also relies in the support and love and trust of others.
Wow, that's really beautiful. And I am such a longtime fan of you and your foundation and all the work you do across the globe. So it's really exciting for me to kind of have the opportunity to talk to you and ask what inspires you. You mentioned the children, but what exactly about your interaction with them or the light you see in their eyes, how does that get you going and want to continue this work?
Well, I think that I resonate a lot with the work I do because once upon a time I was that child. I was that kid that was impacted by one person, that was impacted by one program, that was touched in his heart by the words of someone, by an opportunity. So when you are a child that is there waiting with an open heart for someone to hear you, for someone to give you an opportunity, then of course you are changing someone's life. So the vision of our organization is to provide life-changing opportunities through music education. So when I am with a kid that looks at you, just imagine a 7-year-old child who has no violin and has to be rotating an instrument that doesn't belong to them for 15
Mm,
minutes every time across 5 other students. And you
mm,
say, this is for you. This is going to be the instrument that you are going to be able to develop. Just to see the
mhm,
excitement, the
mhm.
dedication, the passion that they put towards this is just mesmerizing. That's way more valuable than going on stage and performing a violin concerto with an orchestra because I always say this in every single one of my interviews and when I am trying to get people involved. Um, if I am going to give a performance because I'm being hired to play a violin concerto, I also want to have the opportunity to talk to the community. I also
Yes.
want to have the opportunity to go to the schools and see the kids
Mhm,
and maybe work with a program that
mhm,
they have in the city for music education because I am
mhm.
more than just a performer. My playing is going to have an impact that goes for the duration of the playing of that concerti.
Mhm,
But when I
mhm.
am able to connect with people, when I am able to educate, to share my story, that's something that leaves a footprint forever. So
Yes.
I want to be that person. And that's why what keeps me always thinking that this is what I want to do is that process of seeing the actual state of a student. This is where they are. This is all of their dreams, what they want. And then seeing the desired state where they want to go and them accomplishing it. That's just mesmerizing. Right now, we have more than 17 students that have graduated through the foundation and were supported with the resources of the foundation who are now studying abroad with full scholarships in different
Wow.
countries, in
I
different
just got
universities
chills.
and programs, and many others who have decided to stay in their own countries and create their own programs or to support their own communities. When
Mhm.
you ask me, why do I keep doing this? I think that I gave you a very long answer. And the answer is the passion that I have towards my purpose. I think that
Mhm.
this is my purpose and is being able to give voice to others and to give opportunities because I got them and I want to give back to the community
Of
for
course.
everything I had.
You spoke a little bit about one program and one man that really impacted you and your career. Would you be willing to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I grew up in Venezuela through El Sistema program, which is a music education program that is known worldwide and had been awarded tons of prizes throughout their history of 47, 48 years of, I think that they are closer to their 50th anniversary now. I am not sure, but El Sistema for me was the family and the home that saw me grow in terms of music.
Mhm.
And that was definitely a life-changing opportunity for me because I wouldn't have known what being exposed to music, what playing an instrument was like, what sharing in an orchestra would have been without El Sistema. So being able to grow in this program and earned every single opportunity that I had, like becoming the youngest concertmaster of a national orchestra, playing with the top conductors of the world, traveling and touring. That is definitely an experience that marks your life and it becomes unforgettable. And when it comes to one person, I think that I will never forget a violin professor from the US who traveled to Venezuela because at that time El Sistema was investing a lot in bringing professors from different conservatories and
Sure.
universities and many other places because they wanted to learn about the philosophy of El Sistema.
Mhm. Mhm.
So at that time, in my little town, in my little city, because I want to also share that I didn't grow up in the capital. I
Mhm.
was not exposed to music in the center of El Sistema. I was in a little town, in a small house with barely 5 different rooms where this magic happened. So at that
Mm-hmm.
same house, a group of teachers from the New England Conservatory, Maryland University, and Peabody came to Venezuela to work with the kids and to teach us. And there was this professor named James Stern, um, who at the time came to Venezuela to conduct, to teach. And he changed my life at the moment that he gave me the movie The Art of Violin. And that movie for me was like I saw a completely different world, and I was just 12 years old.
Wow.
So of course, when you are exposed to this amazing, you start learning about Yehudi Menuhin, David Oistrakh, Ida Handel, Jascha Heifetz, Misha Elman, Joseph Hasid, and all of their stories, the evolution of the golden period of violin playing, and then you realize, wow, I would have never been able to access this because number one, we didn't
True.
have DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have access to any type of TV because my family did not have the resources. And we definitely did not have internet.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to have the movie and then my parents finding out how to play the movie. I
Right.
remember the first time I saw it was at a friend's house who had a different status than my family, and they did
Mm-hmm.
have a TV and they did have
Mm-hmm.
a DVD, and I was able to see the movie for the first time. And then months later, my parents made an effort and they bought our own DVD and
Mm-hmm.
TV. And believe me, I memorized the whole movie. I have saw that movie probably like 50,000 times that I even memorized the dialogues in the different languages. So I was like, wow, I know what they say here and all of that. And it was really an amazing experience because then I became that kid in the orchestra that when we were exposed to these great teachers and all of these
Mm,
activities in the capital, I was able to talk about Yehudi Menuhin, David
right.
Oistrakh, the big
Right.
violin sonata. So I was already someone that had the literature of violin playing, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone was mesmerized because they go like, "How do you know about Michael Radin? How
Right.
do you know about what happened to Joseph Hasid?" But it's because I was exposed to that. Because otherwise, I don't think I would have had the resources to even go to a library and research about it. So I think that that was very, very life changing for me. Number one, El Sistema program being the household of everything that I was able to obtain in terms of my music education. And this violin professor and these experiences through international exchanges who allowed me to be exposed to
Right.
music. So of course I want to be able to do all of these things for other kids and other people, because it's just so mesmerizing when you hear a child from a rural area, from X and Y country, and they just come to me, I want to be the greatest violinist of all time.
That's
And you know
amazing.
that this kid has no instrument
Mm-hmm.
and he has to walk 3 hours to the nearest place for internet connection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how wouldn't you want to change that kid's life? Of course, we
There's
want to
no
do all
other
these things,
option.
and,
You
and
you
that I
have to do
always
it.
remind that, and it comes from the inside. It's like we
Mm-hmm.
want to do that because
Yeah.
it's our inner soul telling us this is what needs to be done, and even it's something greater than that. I always remind my board of directors that if one organization was enough to be able to help everyone and
Mm-hmm.
to fix all the problems and all the issues that we have as the whole human population of the world, then
Yes.
that would have done long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But one organization, one person is not enough. So what
Yeah.
I'm trying to do is to be able to provide these opportunities to them so that they can give those opportunities to others in the future. Because
Yes.
something I believe is that the children of today's world, they are not the future, they are the present. I cannot wait until they become, adults and they are doing so that they change the world. If we want to actually be able to inspire them, to empower them, that has to be done now,
Now.
because this creative time is where they are able to realize and to connect, and
Mm-hmm.
that's through their early childhood. So that's basically what I can say about that.
Wow, that's so full of inspiring things. And I hope anybody watching is just inspired to say, like, how can I help? And the impact that you have on one child really impacts their entire community. And I think that's so special to take away. Um, Pivoting a little bit, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what your experience has been like navigating the classical music space as a Latino, and what advice would you have for other people trying to navigate in this area, and what would you say?
Well, I think that in my unique case, because I come from El Sistema, thinking about where I came from, my race or my ethnicity or how I look like was nothing very important when it came to learning music,
Yes.
because it was actually about the music, about the experience. So of course, um, classical music is not um, a tradition for any Latin American country or South American country. Um, but we also have to remember that Venezuela specifically was a Spanish colony, and we
Mhm.
also had a lot of migrants. So we're a melted pot of different cultures. Actually, I am one of those because my
Mhm.
mom's side of the family is European, and they are all Portuguese. They are not Venezuelans.
Interesting.
And then my father is Venezuelan, so I'm half and half. So I was
Wow.
able to be exposed to these two different cultures. That's why I speak the language. And now, coming to the US in 2017, and then starting my studies and learning the language and being exposed to all of these things with that bag of knowledge that I brought from El Sistema was
Hmm.
definitely something that allowed me to make it through very easily. Now, when it
Interesting.
comes to other people, I think that what I could say is you have to give value to the experience and opportunities that you have had, because no matter how little they are, they will have an impact and you will have a voice wherever you are. So we should not neglect and not value or like under appreciate what we have gone through, because
Yes.
all of that have happened in our life for a reason. So I think that when we are trying to go and navigate this world of classical music as a Latino, as someone that does not speak English, as not native of this culture, we have a lot to bring to the table,
Absolutely.
because our culture, everything that we grew up with, our roots, they are all integrated because of one reason: human nature. And music, no matter the style, no matter their origin, no matter if it's Western European music, Asian music, Indian music, South American music, is still music. And it's all, merging in the same point because it's a human expression and it's a
Yes.
human language.
Hmm.
Music wasn't born before the human raised. We came, and then with it, with sound, is that music is being represented and now identified and defined as a concept and everything. So it's just about pursuing your dreams, trusting, and of course this constant battle of I need to keep preparing myself more and more. I need to keep learning. I need to keep finding more opportunities to educate myself, to improve
Yes.
myself, because for example, besides me being uh, a musician and a violinist, I'm also a neurolinguistic coach, and I also have studies in neuroscience, and I
Mhm.
have already written 2 books. So it's like all of these things are a part of what we
Yes.
do, and all of that have come because of music. I didn't do neuroscience before wanting to do music. I actually did
Hmm.
neuroscience because I needed more tools to be able to understand brain functioning, to
Sure.
support my students in a better way. When I did neurolinguistics, same reason. So it's like, how can I keep nurturing myself so that I can give more? And then I think that that's what makes us as the Latino community stand out, because we come definitely from countries where opportunities are not always accessible,
Hmm.
where you have to get home and think about, oh my goodness, will I have electricity and power? Will there be
Right.
water? Will there be food?
Right. Uh-huh.
So when that happened, it's like we learn how to value the little things that are given to us way more. And
Hmm.
that's where we are able to identify, okay, this is how I can contribute. This is my role in society. So I think that for everyone listening, just find your true self, who you are and who you want to be, so
Mhm.
that navigating that process is not longer navigating. Now you're surfing. Now it's faster and it's on top of it.
Yes.
So that way the visualization is like you are not drowning through the process.
Mhm.
You are
Mhm.
actually surfing. It's like dancing or ice skating is on
Right.
top of it, so
Right,
that you are
right.
able to contribute. And I think that it is going to be hard. It is not always going to be good. And we are going to get a lot of no's. But when those yeses come, that's when
Yes.
we have to be able to build ourselves into that opportunity, because it's not about waiting for opportunities. The opportunities are there, but we have to be ready for them and we have to go out to take them.
Mhm. And when they come along, surf them out, all the way to the
There
finish
you
line.
go. There you go.
Well, I'm so inspired by all of the projects you have and in your performing career, your teaching career, your entrepreneurship career. I just wanted to ask, what new projects do you have in the pipeline, and what can we look forward to seeing from you in the next few seasons?
Well, I have few concerts coming up. I will be performing in Brooklyn next week for the celebration of the Hispanic Heritage Month.
Wonderful.
And that's going to be happening with the Brooklyn Chamber Orchestra. In terms of the foundation, we are now trying to build different projects to bring festivals to different South American countries
Hmm.
and probably establish the first ever international violin competition in Venezuela. Um,
Wow.
we are also um, increasing the, how can I say, it's like the branches and connections so that we can better support more students and
Sure.
other programs
Uh-huh.
around the world. And with teaching, I think that with my students, especially the ones within the foundation, because they are exposed to literature and having to teach and having to impact the community, our biggest project is now creating a network of students that are able to visit schools and give talks and presentations and performances, and also nursing homes in their own community. So everything that we are doing right now is not trying to get them to a better place immediately. It's trying
Mm-hmm.
to help them create within their own community opportunities and have a mark, a
Yes.
footprint, something that can have value in the community, so that they can come with all that knowledge, keep learning, keep educating themselves, whether it's here in Europe or in the universities of their own countries,
Mhm.
because we believe that it it's not about where you go to study, it's what you do with that education. So
Absolutely.
that's basically it. And I will be publishing a new book soon that is going to be talking about the application of neuroeducation to music, and trying to approach a little bit the psychology of practicing and how can we better support our
Mm.
students when doing so. Um, and many, many other things. I mean, there are so many that I cannot even think about them all.
Well, that's so exciting. And for our listeners, how can they get involved with your foundation, and how can they contribute, whether it be financially or with their own resources and time?
Sure. Okay, so the Vargas Foundation is a 501(c)(3) organization with a nonprofit status. You can find us on the internet as Vargas Foundation, or through the full name Samuel Vargas International Music Foundation. Every single social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, our Spotify podcast, or Instagram, is through the handle of Vargas Foundation. So we have all of these different networks where you can reach us. And if you want to donate, you can do so by finding our website and then clicking on the button that says donate. You can definitely find us there under that handle in every social media.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so, so much for joining us here in the studio, in our virtual studio today. It's been such a pleasure to talk with you, and we hope to have you back sometime.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much for considering me and for allowing me to share what is my passion and what I love the most in terms of my career, which is music and helping others. So I'm so blessed to be here.